Bob. Here comes Pitt's offense.
You're talking awfully loud. I wonder why.
And that was Pitt's offense. There it goes. Except it's red.
Max Brown, your thoughts?
Oh, that was Max Brown driving.
He moves like Max Brown.
Interesting game.
Yeah.
In that I've been talking to a bunch of players and James Franklin about, in the old days, I recall games where you used to have to, you win field position and you win ball possession.
Right.
Time of possession, like Pitt did, you almost always won the game. Not anymore, man, because you got explosive players, and then you win the game. And Penn State did.
Pitt had the ball for 38 minutes today.
Was it that long? Wow.
38 minutes. Penn State had 2 touchdown drives. One was 4 seconds and one was 9 seconds.
And Pitt had 2 15-play drives they got 3 points out of.
Penn State's speed and Penn State's special teams, I think, really won the day. And it also helps that they had the best player on the field who shook loose just enough to separate themselves from a very determined Pitt team that was very mindful of the fact that people thought they were going to get blown out today, and they didn't want that to happen.
That's right. And they stuffed up the inside zone in the first half, so Penn State just changed up, went off tackle, and that worked. They got him outside, and he busted a couple big plays, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, to me, one of the big things, Dave, was Quadri Henderson, the guy that killed Penn State last year as a runner on jet sweeps, as a receiver, and he had that 84-yard kickoff return late that stood up their winning points in last year's game. He had 9 combined touches for 33 total yards.
So it was in a way like one of the old Penn State teams, a lot of the old Penn State teams with Bradley's bend don't break defense.
Right.
They were out there a long time, but they didn't give up much in the red zone, almost nothing. And Max Brown wasn't well. We're not going to pile on.
You know what? Just real quick, without piling on, it reminded me a little bit of the Central Florida game that they played at Ireland, where George started the wrong quarterback.
The wrong quarterback, right.
And then the mobile guy got them back in the game. I forget. the mobile UCF quarterback got them back in the game. I think that Pitt probably
the big, tall, fast kid
will be better off with the guy that came in.
And they might, they have a 5-star quarterback that might get benched. And they might be better off running the Wildcat. One thing I want to ask you.
Go.
And bounce, which we were just talking about off camera. What do you think some team, Iowa, I'm thinking, with the veteran offensive line, with a really good back in Akram Wadley.
Yeah.
What do you think they thought of this game? And what do they think they're going to think of that tape? Kirk Ferentz in particular.
Yeah, I think they're definitely more apt to finish at home against Penn State than this Pitt team. But it seems now like James has built the program to a point where there's only 2 ways you can beat this team. You got to have more athletes than them, and maybe Ohio State does this year, or you got to be able to keep the ball for 38 minutes. And when you get in the red zone,
you got to finish.
You got to get touchdowns and not field goals. Pitt was in the red zone 4 times. They only scored 3 possessions. 2 of them were field goals. You can't do that against Penn State. And they don't have to score 38 points anymore to win games.
And Iowa's going to have a rookie quarterback, and they might have the same problems at quarterback. Who knows? But they won today, scoring I think 44 against Iowa State. So that's something to watch off in the future. Next week, we don't have them. We have a night game against the Georgia State Panthers. Are you ready?
You've had this game circled for a while, I know.
It's a circle game on the calendar. Anyway, until then, until the visitors from Atlanta come up, adios.